Hey everybody, Jay Super Awesome here. I would like to welcome you to week number 13 of the HORRORMan's Slashback Saturday Challenge. This week's slasher movie theme is Bloody Slashers, and I will be giving my review for Blood Cult. You might just get blood on you. Okay, so getting into the plot for this one. One of the strangest crimes in recorded history took place on a small Midwestern campus. Each victim was a sorority co-ed, and each time the killer struck, he mutilated his victim. He took one of their body parts and left a golden amulet nearby, and the only clue. The story of an ancient witch coven thought to be long dead that worshipped the devil god Canonus and known as the Blood Cult. Okay, so getting into my thoughts for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and say right here at the beginning of my review for Blood Cult that this is a slasher film that I did not enjoy, and it's not one that I'm going to be able to recommend. Now, in the spirit of the Slashback Challenge, I chose to go ahead and review this one because it was a slasher movie that I had not seen, and I had a few others in mind that are really good slasher movies with blood in the title in some form. But I chose to review this one because I hadn't seen it, and it's not a complete letdown because it actually got me to watch this movie. Who knows how long it would have stayed on my shelf if I hadn't watched it for this challenge. So I actually think it's a good thing, even though I didn't enjoy the movie. Okay, so now getting into the cast of characters we have in Blood Cult. So the main story centers around a sheriff who is trying to solve the murders taking place at a sorority house. The interesting thing about this is every time one of the murders happens, it always looks like a different house, and I don't believe it's intended to be a different house. His daughter is the head mother of the sorority house, and she also works in the library and is giving him information on the Blood Cult, along with her boyfriend, who is another one of the main characters of the story. Now, with the boyfriend, they tried to put a twist on his character, and I would say, to give this movie some credit, that the twist worked pretty well in my opinion. Okay, so as the sheriff continues to struggle to solve the case, his station receives a phone call in from a citizen with a complaint that their family pet, their dog, has been decapitated, and that they are hearing chanting out in the middle of the woods at night and seeing fires out in the middle of the woods at night. So the deputy simply writes this complaint off as the woman is drunk and proceeds to tell the sheriff this story and basically accuses the woman of being drunk for coming up with such a ridiculous story, I guess. So the sheriff decides to check out the story. He drives out to the family to give them a face-to-face visit and confirms the story of as it was reported. So this is where the cult members come into play. We do end up getting to see them at one of their black mass ceremonies. Each of the members look pretty lame as they're basically wearing robes and they have white paint on their face and some black around the eyes. So it's very standard stuff. And we have learned that to be a member of this cult, you have to commit murder and bring a offering, which is basically a body part, because they are putting together sort of a Frankenstein type character to sacrifice. And I believe the head of this character is actually supposed to be having the dog head. And this is kind of me piecing the pieces of the story together, as that's what they're trying to do. We actually never get to see that in this movie, which that would have probably been something to see. Anyway, so the cult members are pretty lame in my opinion. We do end up getting a reveal at the end of a mysterious member of the cult, but overall, just the killer and the killings in this movie is just very underwhelming in my opinion. So with the reveal of the mysterious cult member, the movie is trying to set up for a dramatic finish. At this point, I really didn't care as I had not related with any of the characters, and the ending sequence is so poorly acted that I was just really thankful to complete the film. And I know that that is the absolute worst thing you can say about a movie, but that was the truth for me. So with all that being said, I'm going to explain what I feel is the best kill sequence in the movie, and then I will give my rating. So I believe the best kill sequence of the movie to be the opening scene where a girl is taking a shower upstairs, but she hears the door open all the way downstairs, which is completely ridiculous given the distance and with her being in the shower. Anyway, she proceeds to call out to a friend, and as she is doing that, the killer is slowly and methodically making his way through the house up to her, and she continues to call out for the friend, and finally she is not getting an answer back, and she decides to get out of the shower and investigate for herself. Of course, at this point, it's far too late for any escape attempt. As she opens the bathroom door, the killer is there with the meat cleaver raised, and in a swinging motion lands a striking blow that we do not get to see, but we see the blood splatter on the wall, and as we're looking at the blood on the wall, we hear striking blows landing, and then we see an arm fall into the bathtub. When we finally see the ending reveal of the carnage that the killer has caused, it's basically the victim on the floor covered in blood with no visible wounds other than a missing arm. That sounds like that should have been a amazing opening and a really good scene, but it really set the tone of the movie for me, and I just really didn't enjoy it. So with that being said, I'm going to give Blood Cult a 4 out of 10. And I can only recommend this one for hardcore slasher movie enthusiasts. I also believe it has a part 2 called Blood Cult 2 Revenge. And I'm actually thinking about picking it up because I already own this one, but I'm not really for sure just yet. Anyway, please like, subscribe, comment below, and I would like to thank you guys for watching.